Hello and welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. I'm Shawn DeKnight. Sheriff, we're back for another segment here today, and I know we're talking about something you're really passionate about, our subject matter today.
Absolutely. When you start talking about the youth of our community, that is one of my passion areas and something that, I'm a father of three, and I've got 4 grandchildren. So when you start talking about kids and the future of this nation and our country, it depends on how well we do with our young people coming up. And so I'm excited about our program today. We're going to talk about how partnerships can work with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, particularly as relates to youth in our community. And I think most people have read the Anatomy of a Homicide by now and know that we have a significant problem with youth involved in gangs and drugs and crime and unfortunately a lot of shootings. So hopefully we'll get some citizens engaged and excited about joining us in our efforts to drive down crime and help the kids of our community.
Yeah, the good news is we all can play a role when it comes to this. And today we're going to kind of unpack some of the programs we have at LCSO for youth. But why is it so important to create these initiatives and programs as it relates to engagement with our youth?
Well, as we say in one of the organizations I'm a part of, what they see is who they'll be. And if they see business people involved in their lives, if they see role models who are engaged and having conversations with them, showing them exactly what the other side of life looks like. In many cases, these kids grow up on the south side or in impoverished situations and never get the opportunity to see what we all richly enjoy here in Tallahassee, Leon County. And business folks in our community can give us those opportunities and give these kids those opportunities as well.
Yeah, sometimes we stay in our silos so much and we don't really realize how really small the world is for some of our kids in our community. And it's our job to open up their mindset.
Oh, absolutely. Shawn, I remember when you guys took a trip up to Atlanta and took these kids with them on a field trip and they came back. Some of those kids had never been outside of Leon County.
Right.
First venture outside of Leon County was a trip that you and your staff put together for the Leon County Sheriff's Office. I didn't thank you for that, but thank you now.
I think you did. But and today we're going to be talking about how our local businesses can get involved too. We talk about citizen engagement and law enforcement engagement, but we really need the help of our business community.
Absolutely. If you're out there and you have a business and you want to see your business flourish in our community, one of the best things you can do is get engaged with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, get engaged with our youth. Obviously, the youth are our future, and what we set in place right now with our kids will reap benefits for years and years to come in terms of the quality of life that we all richly enjoy here in Tallahassee, Leon County. So we're hoping and praying that a lot of businesses will join us, and I'm eager to hear what Captain Bobby Green has to say about the programs that we got in place, the summer programs, the mobile programs we got, all trying to address the issues that we have with our kids in our communities.
Absolutely. And so today's message is for the business community, but also to parents. So we want everybody to stick around because coming up, we're going to talk about some of those programs and how you can get involved. Your children can get involved as well. But first, let's check in with Sergeant McMillan with our Crime Tip Tuesday.
Hello everyone, this is Sergeant Shade McMillan with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, and here's today's Crime Tip Tuesday. With the cooler weather upon us, it is a good time to get out in the yard and make sure your landscaping also deters thieves. Here are some tips for target hardening your home through landscaping. Plant short, thorny bushes, shrubs, or cacti under all windows. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Shrubs should be below 3 feet tall, and tree branches should be at least 6 feet from the ground. Avoid planting a tree line near the street. They make great hiding places. Use gravel under windows, walkways, and driveways to hear footsteps. Stay safe out there.
Joining me now is Captain Bobby Green with the LCSO Youth and Adult Services Division. Captain Green, you're working hard to reach out to the youth of our community and the young adults. We need the help of our community in trying to reach our young adults. Tell us about some of the programs that we are engaged in.
Well, let's start off with our Explorers program, Sheriff. That's probably our longest tenure program within our agency and across the state. So we get kids that come in our program that's interested in some type of aspect of law enforcement. They go through pretty much the training that we go through. We teach them how to properly care for and use a firearm, how to do traffic stops, how to do building searches. They do first aid, they do CPR. So they pretty much are, as you say, junior deputies. So they get a good feel, a good rapport of what we do and a good interaction when we do. During the summertime, they go and they compete across the state against other Explorers posts, and they have competitions and they see which Explorer post is the best. So I'm really proud of that program. I've been a part of it and been around it for a while now, and I'd like to see it succeed, and that's one thing that we do. Actually, that's a year-long program. It starts, but it goes through the summer also. We have numerous programs. We have a teen driver, which is something that we've been doing at agency for many of years, and a lot of people don't know. It's an opportunity for your young kids that's at the right age that can come out, and they have their learner's permits at least for 6 months. They can come out and get defensive driving techniques from our instructors, and this is also, people that are aware of this, it gives them a break on their insurance. So we do that during the summer. We also have the adventure camp, and we have that going for the first 2 weeks after school is out, and there's a week for boys and a week for girls. There's a lot of things we're trying to get engaged to. As you know, we're trying some new initiatives also. So those are some of the ones that we're working on right now.
Let's go back to the Explorer Post. If there are some young adults out there, young kids out there that like to be in an Explorer Post, how can they get engaged? And then if there are businesses out there that would like to support our Explorer Post, how can they get engaged as well?
Well, first of all, the students, if you show an interest, you can reach out to your school resource deputy at your school. They can get an application, we get it turned in. If you are at a school that does not have a school resource deputy, then you can call the sheriff's office and ask for youth and young services, and we'll get them contact to get the application to them. As for any business can donate. We do, all our money is funded through pretty much fundraisings. We have an allocated amount of money that we use, but also we like business to get involved. So we have events that we do. We do free events where we come out with park cars for you. We actually have an honor guard team that they post colors. So this is a way that we can give back to the community, as well as the community giving us and show support of what we do.
Is there a phone number or a email address that we can ask the citizens to help us with?
Well, if you call 606-3300, I'm pretty sure you ask for myself, Captain Bobby Green, or Executive Director Leslie Raybon, we can get you in contact with the right information.
Let's talk about the adventure camp you mentioned just a minute ago. How does that work, and how do students get engaged in our summer camps?
Well, the venture camp is targeted toward current 5th and 8th grade, 5th through 8th graders. So each school resource deputy gives us a list of potential candidates. Let's say 8 girls, 8 boys, let's give a round number. And there's a coordinator who looks over each application, and he select these kids, and they're randomly selected, not based upon any type of specific things about them, but he just looks at them and see which ones he thinks should be in the camp. So we have up to 30 boys one week and 30 girls another week, and they do various events throughout the week. They do interactive stuff with the sheriff's office staff. They might go sailing, they might go canoeing, they might go to the park at the end of the week. They have a nice sit-down lunch with you, the sheriff, the command staff. It's a great opportunity for young adults, young youth, to come involved and be in interaction with the sheriff's office.
Now, who exactly can participate? Is there an age limit, or is there any type of student, south side, north side, west side?
No,
who can participate?
We don't discriminate, sir. We take, like I said, if you're a current 5th grader to an 8th grader, and we cut that age off at that range, not younger than that, but any current 5th grader, 8th grader can attend the adventure camp, and it's free of charge. Parents, I know a lot of parents, during the summertime, I have kids, as you say, and finding camps for your kids to be in. This is opportunity. It's only 1 week, but it's a great week. They get fed, they get to do a lot of activities, and they're in a good leadership.
Well, Captain, great information. Thank you. And coming up next, Captain Green will tell us about new youth programs and how local businesses can also get involved. Stay tuned. We're back with LCSO Youth and Young Adult Services Captain Bobby Green, talking about programs to provide positive experiences for local youth and young adults. Tell us about the Harmony program.
Well, Sheriff, this is a new program that was just brought.
Harmony in the Streets. Harmony in the Streets.
There it is, Harmony in the Streets. It's a new program that was brought to us by Florida's Youth Ranch. They have a representative that comes and they talk to us. We've met with him several times. What they do is they pick schools or neighborhoods that are kind of socially, economically kind of deprived of a certain things in the neighborhood. So they pick these schools and they bring in staff, they bring in everything, and all you have to do is drop your kid off at that school, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're taken care of until that evening. They're fed lunch and everything. So When they say mobile, that means that they go to the school. So they go across the state. They go from everywhere from Leon County down to Broward County. They've been doing this for several years. It's the first that we've heard of it. It's the first that we're trying to experiment at the Sheriff's Office. And we've chose 2 schools that we think would benefit greatly from this type of experience.
What are those 2 schools?
That's Sable Palm, which is, as you know, in 32304 area code, and also Fort Brayton. Fort Brayton is located as a very isolated, area that, there's not a lot to do out there. So I think this is an opportunity to get these kids exposed, help build self-esteem within themselves, and utilize their free time in other ways besides, of course, as we know, get into other type of activities, in the streets.
Okay, we've talked about the Explorer Post. We just talked about Harmony in the Streets. What are the kind of programs that we have out there?
Well, believe it or not, there's one more that we're trying to kick off the ground. I'm trying to help our part-time worker with this. Come worship with me.
Okay.
Worship with me. So we've got partnership with several churches in the area to try to help us facilitate this. We've designated 3 schools that we've been targeting to get some families and some children to come in and meet with people in the religious aspect to try to show them a different way, show them that there are opportunities. They also, these churches will provide for them. So we're trying to get 6 families at this time. And it's something that I always speak about to people that, during my time, we were involved into the church, and that keeps you away from doing things, it keeps you that kind of standard of life in yourself. So it builds character, it builds a lot of things inside of yourself. So I think this is an opportunity to see a different type of avenue for them to go to besides it might be the movies or the streets or something else. And the church is always a great option.
Absolutely. That's where I got my foundation, in
Yes.
church. But that's another program that you did mention, and that's Back on Track. Talk about Back on Track.
Well, Back on Track has been around for a while, and once again, this is not a summer program. Back on Track has really exceeded expectations, I must say. I wasn't always involved in youth and young adult services, but since we have expanded the referrals for Back on Track. Now, a lot of people don't know, a lot of people in schools know that if kids get in trouble in school, they get a referral, they can be referred to Back on Track in lieu of or instead of an arrest. So this is a way that staff at schools can say, hey, I think you're going the wrong direction. I need you going back on track. Back on Track is an interactive evening with law enforcement. We do it twice a month. There's anywhere between 8 to 12 kids, and each kid has their own deputy, or we've actually partnership with Tallahassee Police Department. They started sending over officers to engage in this. And it's trying to work to break down the barriers between young youth and law enforcement. The difference of character. What we might say one word, it means something else. The youth and young adults say another thing, and it means totally something different. So we're trying to come together to show them that though we wear a badge and a gun, we're still humans, and though they're juveniles and they on TikTok and Twitter all the time, we can come together and come to understanding.
Well, Captain Green, we've got about a minute left in the program here this morning. Tell us about how can our businesses get engaged in helping us get all in for young adults in our community, the youth and young adults of our community?
Okay, well, the first way is obvious. I think that our community relations group just kicked off something on Facebook where they're doing a fundraiser through businesses. Businesses can come and contribute any amount of money. Now, I can't explain what that will provide for them besides that positive interaction. They know they're doing something well, and also knowing that they're collaborating with the Sheriff's Office to help cause a problem that we know we're seeing growing is worse and worse. Everyone talks about our youth and what to do with them, so this is an opportunity for some people to get involved and try to help get our youth off the streets.
Thank you, Captain Green. For more information on our All In for Youth and Young Adults fundraiser, log on to leoncountyso.com. Coming up, we go behind the scenes with our hostage negotiation team. That's on our Deputy on Duty segment. Stay tuned.
Our main goal is to end all of our situations peacefully, to get everybody home safely, be it the person in crisis or be it our team members. Basically use our gift of gab basically to talk to the people and get them to come out and talk to us, or go with it from there. The way I like to explain it is like you got an offense, it's like a football team. You have an offense and a defense. Your SWAT team's your offense and defense, and your other parts of the team is the specialty teams. And that would be your kicking team, which would be like your hostage team or your drone team or your bomb team. So we're basically, it's like one big football team. We'll have a primary and a secondary negotiator that's actually trying to make contact with a person in crisis. Then we will have the other team members gathering info. Then we have our team commander, which is Melinda McBride, and she'll be working with the team commander for the SWAT team, and we're all relaying information continuously throughout the entire situation. If you have a person in crisis, if it's a suicidal subject like that, we're going to try to gather as much information we possibly can on that subject, find out what's going on, and try to build a rapport with them and talk to them, and see if we can get them to come out, as far as if we can get them the help that they need, and go with it from there. You have a primary and a secondary. We got to know that we're constantly on the same page with one another. The primary is the one that's doing all the talking. The secondary is listening and picking up on key components of what's being said. And we're constantly making notes and passing them along. And I mean, it's just one big team. We've got to know what the other person's thinking, and vice versa. It's just about the gift of gab. It's about getting that and being able to establish that rapport and talk to that person. It's not talking down to someone. It's being on the same level with them and talking to them and letting them know that they're important and the situation, and that's why we're there, and we're there to help. We're not there to bring them down or to ruin their life. We're there to help them, because like I said, we want to end all of our negotiations successfully and peacefully. We're all humans. I mean, we all put our pants on one leg at a time, and I'm no better than anyone else. And I mean, and that's what that's part of building a rapport, is talking to the person, not yelling or screaming at them or anything, because you're not going to get anything if you're yelling and screaming. Nobody's listening. And that's the most important thing, is being able to make them feel that they're important and that we're there, we're actually listening and wanting to help. Just be human. That's what this job's all about. We're just because we carry a badge and gun doesn't make us better than anybody else. We're human just like they are, and I want the legacy I like to do. Hey, I was a hard worker and I was a fair person.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. Sheriff, our hostage negotiation team, I think a lot of times when people think about those tense scenes and they think about our SWAT team rushing in, but the hostage negotiation team really is key to some of these incidents.
They are absolutely key to it. The ability to have a conversation with a person who obviously is in a real horrific mindset at that point in time, is out, either with a gun to his head or a gun pointed at somebody else. If a negotiator is to come in and have a conversation with that person, and I'm amazed at their ability to talk these people out of those circumstances and to get them to many times put their weapon down and give themselves up. That is a skill that not everybody has, but I'm really happy that the Leon County Sheriff's Office has some of the best negotiators in the country.
Absolutely, very important life-saving skills there indeed. And then talking about our youth program, talking about saving lives and really intervening, we need the help of our community when it comes to this outreach.
Absolutely. We are trying to do everything we can to save the children in our community on the front end. We're talking about making sure that these kids get the kind of environments through our Explorer posts, through our camping, through our Back on Track initiative, Worship With Me. We've got a number of programs out there, but obviously programs come and we have to have funding to keep these programs up and running. So we're hopeful that businesses will join us in our all-in efforts to save the citizens and the kids of Leon County.
Right, and our current initiative we have on the table right now is a $2,000 sponsorship, which will make you an official all-in for youth and young adult sponsor. And there are lots of benefits that come along with that as far as your affiliation with these programs. You'll get to come out and have lunch with the kids and the sheriff. And, why is it important for our business community to invest in this effort?
Well, I've said this 100 times, Shonda, when they invest in our kids and the fundraisers we're doing, they're investing in the future of Leon County and Tallahassee. And not only I said it a moment ago, it's not just the kids, but it's all of us, keeping all of us safe. If we can get these kids, many of these kids, all they need is just a little push in the right direction. And I'm hopeful businesses will join us in our efforts to keep this community safe.
Be all in.
All in.
All
there you
in,
go.
indeed.
There you go.
All right. We want to thank you all for joining us for another episode. If you're interested in participating in our All In sponsorship for youth, go ahead and log on to our website, leoncountyso.com. We'll see you next time.